What up, what up? This is Ace OG, back with another topic, back with another video. So the title of this video is going to be Young Black Men Are Their Worst Enemy. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribe to the channel. I endeavor to keep pushing your video out. Give you leverage, do better yourselves. So let's get into it. So young black men are their worst enemy. So the reason why I'm bringing up this topic is because there is a guy, there was a teacher from my elementary school. I believe, well, let me see, either he was a teacher or he was a assistant principal. I'm not exactly sure. I think he probably attained assistant principal status where he left. But I would say probably a little bit over 10 years ago, he friended me on Facebook, and I barely remembered him. But I saw that he was friends with a lot of folks that I grew up with in the project, so I friended him. And he has like a conglomerate of like pictures of all of us in elementary school, and we're talking like between 1987 and 1992. Now I graduated elementary school in '89, so there's very little pictures of me in those pictures. But you know, that age frame is basically like my peers, like basically those are folks I grew up with. So I recognized every single person that was in those pictures. And I mean, I'm talking about, this was 2011. And he wound up posting these pictures like within like a 2 or 3 day span. I'm talking about, it was like, I see probably 100 pictures, if not more, like all the class pictures, individual photos, photos where, you know, we was graduating 5th grade, photos where we was cleaning the local rec center in our projects. I think there was a photo where they took us to the museum, and one of I think the 5th grade class, because most of the pictures he's posting is the fifth and 4th grade classes of those years, and then a couple of a handful like 1st grade and 2nd grade. But anyways, I mean, it really took me back when I saw the pictures years ago. And for whatever reason, recently, within the last week, he's reposted those pictures, all of them, right? So I'm looking through the pictures, and I'm pretty sure that I thought about this when I was looking at the pictures back in 2011. But I was in Korea too during the time. So my life was a little bit different back then. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm pretty sure I had some nostalgia when I saw those pictures. But I'm pretty sure it didn't resonate with me as much as it does now, right? 2011, I was when I was like 32, something like that, whatever. Partying, still going out there doing my thing, right? I was in the army, right? And I was an instructor in Korea, so I had classes that I taught in Korea, basically almost like one level lower than a drill sergeant to a certain degree. So I had a lot of responsibility. And one thing I didn't do back then was I wasn't on social media that much, really. I was too much. Either I was in a classroom teaching, or I was out of the classroom studying for teaching, or in my spare time I was out at the bar getting hammered. That was my life during that time. I'm not even front about that, right? But so anyways, within the last week, he's reposted all those pictures, and I'm looking through the pictures, and I'm like, damn, like, the class photos that I'm seeing, like at least one person in every photo. I'm not kidding, y'all. At least one person in every photo is a person that was killed before they was 18 years old. This is no joke, y'all. I promise you. This is real life. And it you know, like I said, I'm pretty sure that I thought about this when I saw the pictures years ago. But I mean, you know, I'm in a different space now in my life, you know. So when I see things like this, it really hits me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was heartbreaking. It really was, because I mean, I'm 46 years old. You know, these peers of mine, my friends, right? Folks that I grew up with since the cradle. Like, some of these folks I knew since preschool, right? And you know, some of these peers that I had, some of my friends, you know, got shot. They got stabbed. I mean, in all different scenarios, like being robbed, shootouts, all these things, right? And I even posted on one of the pictures, you know, there was like 3 people in that class photo that was killed. not dead from natural causes or anything like that. Like literally was murdered. And I'm sitting here like, I commented on one of those class photos. I'm like, was it that bad during that time? Because, you know, it's a shame to say, you know what I'm saying, but that was really a way of life when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like when my peers died, I mean, it was heartbreaking. I really felt bad, but you know, I'm a child when this stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, my way of thinking, my mind was a child, right? So I didn't process death like I do now, right? So even though it was heartbreaking, I mean, it's like it just hits very, very differently now, being older. And you know, these kids didn't have a chance. Like we didn't have a chance, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know, depending on what type of environment you was raised in. And I'm not talking about just a project environment, because in my environment, yes, it was a lot of violence, it was a lot of drugs. But my grandmother and my mother, they really not necessarily try to shield me from it, but they really instill a lot of values in me, that basically they were telling me like, hey, if you do this, I'm gonna kick your ass. Basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, and my grandmother put the fear of God in me. She really did, you know. So shout out to my grandmother, rest in peace to her. She was a disciplinary in my house. My mom was too. My grandmother, like, she really was the one that actually like laid the hammer down. And we're talking about a woman that was 4'11", but she didn't play no games. Grandma did not play any games at all, at all. So I really count on her, you know, being, you know, one of the pillars in my life that actually like saved me from the streets. But like I said before in previous videos, I always had a mentality where I wanted better for myself. But don't get it twisted, you know, because when you're raised in that environment, like it is very enticing to get into the game. It's very enticing to, you know, rob people for money because we don't got nothing. We poor, you know what I'm saying? So they out robbing people. They stealing cars. One of the guys that I knew, I still know to this day from the hood, was had posted on one of those pictures that a guy that we knew called Malachi, who was murdered. He said he remember one time when both of them had stole the car and was driving the car, I guess to middle school or whatever, and they got pulled over by the cops, and Malachi jumped out and ran, and I guess my friend that was talking about on the post, he was saying he was laughing his tail off because of how Malachi was trying to run from the police and everything. But you know, that was considered fun times for us because, you know, that's the environment we was raised in, you know. And, you know, the thing is that, you know, these friends of mine that were murdered, like, they were murdered by their own peers. They were murdered by people that they knew, people that were friends of theirs, or so-called friend. My grandma used to always say that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got so-called friends, you don't got real friends. And I would used to get mad. I used to get so mad at my grandmother for saying that. But, I mean, it's the truth. It was a God knows truth. Most of the folks that I grew up with, even though we knew each other from preschool and on up, they weren't truly really my friend. They were just folks that we knew each other in the project, so we had a mutual respect. But the definition of friend goes a lot deeper than being an acquaintance of somebody. It really does. It goes a lot deeper. Basically, if I call you a friend, that means that there's nothing you can do to me that's gonna force me to hurt you, or coerce me to hurt you, or do something bad to you, right? That's not what friends do, y'all. That's not what friends do. I don't give a damn how long you know somebody, right? If that person's really your friend, they're never gonna hurt you, period, at all. And like I said, these folks that were murdered or whatever, like, these were people that they knew, right? These weren't strangers. These weren't like out of town folks that, you know, that was trying to get on their turf and they got into some type of war. Most of the friends I'm talking about that got murdered was set up by their own people they grew up with in the projects, right? So I say that to say that you know, that really brought back some really nostalgic memories. My heart has been kind of heavy a little bit last couple of days. And then one of my really good best friends from the hood, I heard this before he told me, because his sister posted it, that her 18-year-old son just got murdered a couple of days ago, like less than a week ago. I talked to my friend about it, and he said that the scenario was that there were these group of folks, I guess maybe like 3 or 4, was trying to rob him. And when they found out he didn't have any money, they shot and killed him anyway. It's effed up, y'all, around here, y'all. It really is, you know. And you know, this nephew of my friend, right? Like, he just turned 18. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had his whole life ahead of him, right? Now, I'm not exactly sure like what type of lifestyle he led. I'm not sure he was in the hood or whatever. But that doesn't freaking matter, y'all. It really doesn't. It doesn't. You know. There used to be a code out there in the streets where like there were just certain things you just didn't do, right? And the purpose of them killing him, because they try to rob him and he having the money, like they were mad he having the money. So I mean, he's 18 years old, you know what I'm saying? And they still shot him anyway. It's ridiculous. Now, they caught most of them. I'm not sure they caught all of them and everything, but I mean, like, they deserve everything. They deserve everything they get. They really do, you know, because you know, it was uncalled for. But young men are their worst enemy, because the friends I'm talking about, they were murdered back in the day, back in, you know, we're talking like early to late 90s, right? Where these friends of mine just started getting popped off one by one. It seemed like 2 or 3 a year was getting killed, getting murdered. More than that, right? But as far as like anecdotally, as for like folks that I knew personally and I was like friends with and close with, it was like average about 2 or 3. It's crazy. I'm going to school with these guys in elementary school and middle school, and all of a sudden one day I come to middle school and they say so-and-so got shot and killed. But I just saw him yesterday. I was just hooping with him yesterday. I was just talking to him yesterday, and he's gone, right? Over some BS. And you know, I'm not exactly sure what its a solution to this is, but this is an environment that's been created by society in America when it comes to young male Black Americans. It really is. It's a system, y'all, and you know, it's a dog-eat-dog world out here for young Black men that's in poverty. And it seemed like, you know, things happen like this when folks don't have no hope, right? They just get put in a situation that's really bad mind space. These folks got PTSD because I'm pretty sure that most of them, they were murdered, saw people murdered before they got murdered, right? So we're talking about street PTSD. That's a real thing, right? You don't have to get PTSD just for being in war. I have both. I've seen folks get murdered in the streets, and I've seen people die in war, in real war, right? But my friends that were murdered had seen it before they were, right? So, like I said, I'm not exactly sure what the solution is, but the thing is that, you know, the system, the powers that be, want young Black men to murder themselves. They really do, because I don't know, y'all. I might get censored. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I can really say some stuff up here, but I'm just trying to bring awareness, y'all, because, you know, we should be like dapping each other up instead of clapping each other up. I'm gonna say that again. Young men should be dapping each other up instead of clapping each other up. When I mean by clapping, I mean like shooting each other, right? It's a damn shame. It really is, you know, because the system has us in a chokehold to where we feel like that we are the enemy. My Black brother over there across the street is out to get me. No, he isn't. He's in a struggle just like I am, right? So how about we just collaborate and try to get ourselves out the hood and out the projects, not this rut together, instead of I'm trying to get out myself and I'm going to step over your neck. I'm going to step on your neck to get out of here. It's crazy, y'all, but I think I may make some more videos and when it relates to this topic. But please drop some comments in the comments section below, and you know, let me know what you think about the situation. This is a thing that didn't happen for a very long time here in America. You know, it's, you know, all these young male rappers getting murdered from their peers, folks that they know, right? Or opposition that, you know, that may not know them, but you know, they drop in they location, all those other things, or whatever, and they run up on people. It's crazy out here, y'all. It really is. And you know, for the one less Black man that's out here trying to make a difference in America and in the Black society hurts everybody in the Black community. Everybody, you know, the 18-year-old kid that just got murdered a couple of days ago, you know, that was a setback for the Black community as a whole, because he could have been an inspiration to somebody. He really could have, right? Basically, what they did was they stopped what God had for him. And it's a crying shame. We really need to buckle down and start doing something about it, y'all. We really do. But if you want me to discuss a topic or subject you think it benefits your channel, email me at finalfitnessfolk@gmail.com. My email address is description below. This is Ace OG signing out. I'm gone.